Welcome to Top 5 Vinyl. Today I'm here with,
Justin Watson.
thank you, Justin. Welcome. So, music lover,
Absolutely.
and I hear you're an extensive vinyl collector.
Extensive. I wouldn't say extensive yet,
Yeah,
but there will be more coming. So.
gotcha. So, do you remember like the first time that you bought a vinyl?
Wow. Yeah, yes and no, because
Okay.
I don't remember which one it was,
Hmm.
but I remember like I remember looking at it, I was like, I gotta have this.
Hmm.
I gotta have this.
You remember like the store or the location you got it from? Is that place still around?
It was either now you talking about in life or once I started a collection.
The one that your first one that you ever bought?
Oh, ever.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I probably worded that incorrectly, but the first one you ever bought, first vinyl you ever bought.
So I was a kid. And no, I have no idea where I bought this from. It might have been like Toys R Us or something, to
Mm,
be honest with
mm, okay.
you. And it was actually a G.I. Joe. It was a G.I. Joe. It wasn't music. It was like they was talking on it.
Mm,
And then I actually had a record player in my room. Like I don't even know how. I just remembered that just now that I had a record player in my room. I don't even know how that came about.
mm,
And I had this G.I. Joe vinyl that I would play, and it was like I guess an episode, I don't know.
yeah.
And I would actually try to scratch on that show.
I mean, why wouldn't you, you know?
Hey man, it was the time. I didn't know what I was doing. I would just try to make it sound like what I heard on TV and the radio.
Yeah, I remember growing up, I remember one of the kids next door had like an Alvin and the Chipmunks record. I don't know where he got it from. I
Mm.
just remember him messing around with it, playing it, and like you said, scratching on it. You know, when we were
Yeah,
young, it was toys, whatever.
right,
But that's
right.
crazy. I didn't know G.I. Joe had a record. Okay.
They probably got a few. I don't know.
Wow.
With
Okay.
double wood, double glass. I don't know.
Huh.
I was
Okay.
probably the only one that bought them.
If you find, you gotta let me know so we can see that thing.
Yo, you know what? It might still be at my dad's house,
Okay.
an attic. Like I would have to look.
Wow. Okay. Now, growing up, like, who was the bigger vinyl listener? Mom, dad, somebody else? Like, what was your influence with getting
Dad.
into vinyl?
It was
Dad.
definitely my dad.
Okay.
Because growing up, us growing up, we kind of came up at the end of the vinyl era,
Mm-hmm.
tape CDs and all like that. But I can vividly remember my dad having the Thriller album
Mm.
and listening to that a whole lot.
Okay.
I can remember him having he had a lot of he had a lot of vinyls. A lot of vinyl. Excuse me. I was told by somebody that there's no S
There's
on
no
vinyl.
plural. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, he had a lot, man. He had a lot.
Mm.
But I can remember like listening to like a Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Um, I gotta look at this one because I can't remember the name. Miles Davis. How did
Okay.
I forget that?
Okay.
Miles Davis, like he's big on jazz.
Okay.
And I can remember on the Thriller album and on the Thriller album, the song Thriller, I would always ask them to turn it off before the laugh at the end of the song.
Ah, not Hitchcock. It was Vincent Price.
Winston Churchill, was it
Vincent
Vincent
Price.
Churchill?
Yeah. Yeah.
Vincent
Mm-hmm.
Price.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the Stevie Wonder album, he had a song called "Don't Drive Drunk."
Mm.
I don't know if you remember that.
Mm.
At the end of that song, there was like a car accident or something, like tires screeching, like trying to stop, and there's like a car. And I always asked them to turn it off before because that scared me too. I don't know
Ah,
why that's
okay.
that those two things stand out in my mind about growing up with albums in the house.
Okay. Last question about this. Was the record player back in the day on or off limits? Could you touch it?
So when they were not home, actually no, I couldn't touch it. I wasn't supposed to touch it. And I understand why as I got
Yeah.
older. You know, you gotta really know what you're doing.
Right, right,
But I still tried.
right. Same.
I had the nickel on the little
Exactly.
needle and stuff. Like
Yep.
I know I tore some stuff up because I would do stuff to make it bounce. It was a
Messing
toy to
around.
me, like when nobody else is around. It was a toy. Like I'm gonna
Right.
see. I'm not gonna play anything, but I'm gonna let
Mhm.
it spin. I'm gonna see
Exactly.
what this needle does. So,
I hear you. Same over
so mom, dad, if you're seeing this, my bad. Yeah, it was me.
here.
Bad.
All right. So you know, this page is dedicated to like vinyl lovers and collectors. So um top five vinyl. You have five vinyl records next to you. Can you show me the fifth vinyl? We're gonna go down the list from five to one. Can you show me your number five?
Okay, and it's kind of funny. I never noticed this until this very second that this was made in Canada.
Hmm.
It's significant. Okay, it's
Okay.
significant that it's made in Canada. So this is number five right here.
Two thumbs up, sir. Two thumbs up. Two thumbs
That's
up.
number five right there. It's the Kendrick Lamar Good Kid Bad City, Good Kid
Okay.
Mad City. Excuse me.
Mm. Mm.
I believe this is his first album. Am I correct? First or second?
And maybe a second or third. I can't remember off the top of my head because it was like Section 80. I think there was one before Good Kid, Mad City, but
I think you're right.
I
I
think
think
that one right there was like his breakout, his mainstream, I should say.
yeah, yeah. This one had "Don't Kill My Vibe," uh,
Mm-hmm.
"Poetic Justice" on it. So I
Money
think the
Trees.
second one.
Yeah.
But like I got it because first of all, I like the album.
Right.
It was a good album. It's probably gonna go down as a classic in a few years.
I mean, as
Um,
far as I've heard so far, that album, I think it's been like in the top 100 albums over the past like 10 plus years. Like it broke a
really?
record for being like in the top something for the past like 10 plus years. Yeah.
Well, I think the "Don't Kill My Vibe," the "Poetic Justice," it still gets spins.
Yeah.
It still gets spins. So yeah, probably is. We had Mary on here. Dr. Dre was on here. MC8 was on here. Poetic Justice had Drake on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is number five, man, and I like it because um, it's such a simple cover. It's such
Yeah.
a simple piece of art.
Hmm.
A picture of a minivan. I don't know the story behind that. Maybe this is at where he grew up. Maybe this is the vehicle he had or the vehicle that had him growing up. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
But it's so simple. And when they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, I feel like you're looking at this and you can come up with so much
I agree.
without knowing what it's about.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite albums right there.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
artistic piece of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
All right, so we knocked off your number five. What do we have for number four?
Number four is when I had to take a peek at because I couldn't remember the name.
Okay.
Miles Davis,
Mm,
Kind of Blue.
okay.
A classic jazz album. I got this because I actually have a Miles Davis pop,
Mm,
and I wanted to put this on the wall and have the pop like right in front of me. I
okay.
still may do that, but I thought it was pretty dope because I bought the pop first, and I was like, I got to get a Miles Davis album.
Mm,
Got to get vinyl for it too. And I actually got the idea for that from a friend of mine who he collects vinyl.
mm,
And he has like from all genres of music, but he takes pictures, puts them on Instagram. Is has an artistic look to it. So I said I'm gonna do that with this and a pop. So and it's a classic album. And
mm,
I grew up listening to albums listening to records with my dad, and
mm.
he was big on jazz. So that's just kind of an homage to my dad and me growing up.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah, and your number three.
Number three is interesting and fun. Straight out of
Mm,
Compton,
wow.
NWA.
Okay.
I should have flipped my camera around so that don't look so funny, but I mean, classic rap
Yeah.
group,
Yep.
classic album. It actually got new life when the movie came out.
Hmm.
Listening to it, like the movie gave the group a whole new life to a whole generation
Oh yeah.
that wasn't even around or even thought of.
Hmm.
Wow. But I mean, you had Dr. Dre, you had Yellow. Let's just talk about the people that we're still talking about today. All right, no disrespect to anybody else,
Right,
but
right.
Dre, Easy E,
Mm-hmm.
and Cube right
Mm-hmm.
there. Like,
That
now
album
you,
came out in 80.
where is it? If I could find it, I'd tell you. But it was definitely the 80s.
But the
Where is
longevity is crazy. You're right. Naming those
it?
names today still mean, holds a lot of weight.
Yeah, absolutely. 1988,
Yeah.
Parody
Yeah.
Records.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember where
So
you got that record from?
I think I got this one from um it was a music store. Is it musicians? Guitar Center. I think I got it from Guitar
Mm.
Center.
Okay.
And I think I got most of these from Guitar Center. I think I got the Kendrick from Best Buy, actually.
Gotcha.
Funny enough.
Okay.
Funny enough. And I love the artwork on all of these. Like,
Yeah, I love this circular looking up.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a dope picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dope picture right there. Great work by the photographer. And I don't know who the photographer was, but maybe I'll look it up one day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just thought that was a dope picture. And growing up, I didn't buy these as records. I bought these as tapes and
Same.
CDs. So
Right.
it was a lot smaller. I mean, I have here's the comparison. Right. This is with the
Exactly.
sleeve that it went over a CD.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Guy versus TIP.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
Yeah, the artwork
hang this on your
is
wall, hang that on your wall. Which one?
huh, right. Yeah, the artwork is magnificent on the size of the vinyl. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Now let's get to your number two. You rubbing your hands right now, so I don't know what to expect.
Because this one takes me back, right? This
Okay.
one takes me back, hanging with the homies, getting hyped before a football game, a basketball game, or whatever the case may be. Acting like I was a thug when I
Huh.
wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say a thug. I didn't act like a thug. Acting like I was tough.
Right. Come
Into
on.
the Wu-Tang 36
I
Chambers.
mean, that's this a classic all around.
This one right here, man, I still listen to the music to this day.
Mm-hmm.
To this
Mm-hmm.
day. I mean, all of them really, but like this one, like this means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Right. This means that's the only reason I bought. I mean, for the artwork too. But the reason I bought is because it means a lot to me because my homies and myself, like we were always listening to Wu-Tang. Like
Mm-hmm.
we actually had like we gave each other Wu-Tang.
What's
We
that?
gave each other like Wu-Tang names.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm trying to think of what I think mine was Gambino.
Childish Gambino, Donald Glover.
They called
Mm-hmm.
me Gam because my nickname was Bean, so they
Mm-hmm.
would call me Gambino. Actually, Bean came from Gambino because they would call me Gambino and just called me Bean for short after that.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, man, and this was dope because like we didn't know who they were at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like faces were covered and all like that. Later on, it was only Ghostface that covered his face.
Right.
But like this can a lot of stories can be told
Yeah,
when somebody just
that
puts
album
themselves.
is no there's no debate. The album goes down in history as one of the greatest ever.
Absolutely. And it was so different.
Mm-hmm.
Thing that was out. Like they changed a lot of things. It almost made it they almost made it like in a sense good to be different.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because nobody was talking about, kung fu when
Right.
in the albums and stuff, having kung fu what's it called? Like drop takes or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know that was you. Like
Huh. Right, right.
and they incorporated it in the music. It was just totally different. And I think that just opened the door for people to be themselves,
Mm.
and really be like artistic with their music.
Yeah, Wu-Tang was the perfect storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many branches to it. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is it. This the finale. What we got? Look, what you staring down at, sir? What's your number one?
So brief story before I show you, right?
Okay.
I got this album. I bought it for somebody else.
Okay.
Okay. I bought it for my brother out in West Virginia because he put me on back in the day when we was younger.
Mm-hmm.
He put me on. His room was in the attic, right? Not my blood brother. He's a very close friend. Our family is very close. We call each other brother. I would go to his house. His room is in the attic. We could listen to this.
Okay.
right? And my house, no, couldn't listen to something like that. I didn't even
Okay.
have it. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, to this day, this is the only time I've purchased this album.
Okay.
Okay. Um, but I bought two at the time when I bought them. I was supposed to keep one, and I accidentally sent it to him and didn't realize it till like 2 years later. But this one is classic, changed the game again. I know you're looking like, what is he
I'm
talking about?
staring. I'm like, what do you get? What do you have down
Like I
there?
kind of want you to guess. You know, what I mean?
Oh
I kind of want to give you
man.
hints, but it'd be too easy for you to guess if I gave you a hint.
I mean, what East Coast, West Coast, what year we
If
talking?
I told you that, it would probably give it up.
Okay.
But here's what I will say. Here's what I will say. It changed the game. I'll say it and you'll get it. It changed the game to put the West Coast on the map.
I mean, you
And
already showed
from
us
this
in
album, one of the writers of this album has his own album, and he's probably one of the biggest stars on earth today.
I mean, it could be Cube.
It's not Cube, but you're close. You're in the ballpark. Like you're close.
I'm not even gonna try to rack my brain.
You're
Uh,
gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad.
Probably. Okay. I was like, we already mentioned NWA. Yeah. So this right here is the first time that I actually had an explicit album in the house.
This one.
And I was kind of like scared to have it in the house. So I'm like, if my mom knows I'm listening to this, man.
So I didn't know until I got older that Snoop wrote like the biggest hits on this album.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was a Drink Champs interview or something that he said. And so the story is I bought this album for my brother, and I bought the Doggy Style album for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I mailed it, I just put the Doggy Style album in there and I sent it on. I didn't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
So later, when I went to look for the doggone Doggy Style album, I'm like, yo, I lost it. I don't know where it is. Whatever, whatever. I was like, wait, let me call him and see. I said, yo, what albums did I give you? Because I gave him a Wu Tang
Mm-hmm.
and I gave him the Doggy Style, and he was like, yeah, what, Snoop and Wu. I was like, man, I wanted to be like, yo, can you bring that drum back? But I was like, I'll find it, and I haven't found it since.
Right. Okay.
I haven't found it since, but he put me on. He was the only person I actually knew with this album at the time,
Mm.
and I loved it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved it. It made me a fan of West Coast rap.
Oh yeah.
Really a fan of West Coast rap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, there was Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, and Corrupt and Daz was on here. Like
Mm-hmm.
on here, I was a very like my friends will tell you back in the day. I was a very big West Coast rap fan. I was a
Mm-hmm.
big Death Row Records fan,
Right.
and I got a Doggy Style album pop.
Okay.
So I gotta get that and match that up and do the artwork and all like
Right.
that.
Nice.
But
Well, let me
those are
say
the top five right there.
let me say that is a very impressive top five for a person who only has five vinyl records. That is impressive. I didn't know what to expect. Well, Justin, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you spending the time to break down your top five, whether or not you didn't own more than five. That was very impressive. I'm gonna keep repeating that. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me on top five vinyl.
Nizzy, thank you, man. This was fun, man. This first time I actually got to tell the story of all my vinyl.
Okay,
Like
cool.
first ever. Like I've been waiting for somebody to ask, but nobody
Oh,
ever
wow.
does.
There you go.
Thank you for
Hey,
allowing
man.
me.
Of course.
I'm gonna do it. I'll probably do it better because I'll practice.
All right, man. Thanks so much.
All right, appreciate you, man. Have a
Have a
good
good
one.
one. Yeah, you too. Thanks a lot.